Now it's like this, little britches. All you gotta do is look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities or Mother Nature's recipes that bring...
Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Ced, and this is another one of my movie reviews. So tonight I am reviewing the Disney live-action remake, or reboot, or rehash, or whatever you want to call it, but the live-action version of The Jungle Book. So we currently live in this time now where we're actually seeing pretty much everything from our childhood. And when I say our, I'm talking about anybody who was a kid in the 80s and 90s, early 90s. We're seeing things that were popular and were a huge part of our childhood. They're now actually being rehashed, rebooted, and for the most part, I'd probably say 85% of the time, it just doesn't work. I mean, they try to recapture, studios and directors, they try to recapture the magic that was captured back then with the originals, and most times it just doesn't work. In some cases, I don't mind it. For example, Ninja Turtles, I mean, it of course didn't capture the magic that the originals did, which I mean, I would expect, but I enjoyed them. But then we have situations like Transformers. Yeah. Let's start off with the acting, or in this case, of course, the voice acting. In my opinion, 2 stars here. First off, Idris Elba is Shere Khan. Idris gives Shere Khan this voice and personality that could not have been captured in a regular animation. It's really fun to watch. I mean, you really get this villainous feeling from seeing the tiger Shere Khan on the screen. And one thing you'll notice is the studios, or the director Jon Favreau, actually set it up to where the facial expressions and features of these characters are mimicking those of the actors voicing them. And you'll notice that very early on, it really raises the quality of the film and the experience. The other star of the film, Bill Murray, the Bill Murray, as Baloo the bear, who, when I was a child, was my favorite character from the Jungle Book, and probably a lot of other people's. Bill Murray kills it. He's hilarious. A lot of quick, funny one-liners. In the facial expressions that they give his character, just all works together very well. Not giving any huge spoilers or anything, but for those of you who are worried about bare necessities being in the movie, it's there. And you will sing along. I did, and everybody else in the theater. Another pleasant surprise was Christopher Walken as King Louie, the huge orangutan. Very funny, very funny. Christopher Walken's always funny, but his voice actually being used in that manner made the movie even that much better. Direction and cinematography. Jon Favreau does not get enough credit. This is the man who did the first 2 Iron Mans. He can make movies like this, and then the next month go and play, you know, some jackass character next to Vince Vaughn and, you know, Will Ferrell. That's just how creative and how wide his range is. Cinematography was cool. It was kind of basic, which I think is necessary when you're creating a whole world on film, kind of like on an Avatar. This was a very immersive world, and they managed to do it in such a way to where it doesn't take long to forget that you're actually watching human animals and relating to them. Not human animals, but talking animals. I'm sorry, it's late. My negatives for the film, I only have 2, and they're not huge. But my first negative is Scarlett Johansson, or Johansson, however you say it, as Kaa the snake. Wasn't feeling it. I tried to get on board with it, I really did, but yeah. All I kept seeing was Black Widow irritating me in the Avengers movie. But it didn't work. It didn't work. It seemed forced. It just, honestly, Kaa could have been left out of this, and that's not a good thing when it comes to the Jungle Book. So, yeah, Scarlett Jo, no. My second complaint, there were a couple of times where the young actor that plays Moby was he's a kid, so I mean you can't say it's corny, but it was just kind of overly cheesy, which I guess you can expect that it's PG and it's Disney. That kind of takes away from it at a couple of points, but once again, not a film killer. Rating for The Jungle Book is it is the best Disney live action remake of all time. I don't think anyone argue with me on that either after seeing it. Everything that could have went wrong in this situation didn't. It's exactly what it should be. It's a fun, kind of carefree, lighthearted, yet at the same time emotional and heartfelt family film. Special effects, scenery, cinematography, everything on point. But once again, the star of this whole operation is the casting director. The voices were on point, all except for Ka the Snake, in my opinion. But all of the other characters, animals, were matched perfectly with the correct actors and voices. So, of course, if you're thinking about going to see this in the theater, do so. Definitely worth seeing in 3D too. So trust me on that. And that concludes my review. I'll have another review posted a little later, actually, for Barbershop 3. So until then, hey.